If you don't recognise it, the accent's Australian. I lost my own father at 12 years of age and know what it is to be raised on lies and silences. My dear daughter, you are presently too young to understand a word I write, but this history is for you and will contain no single lie. May I burn in hell if I speak false. God willing, I shall live to see you read these words, to witness your astonishment and see your dark eyes widen and your jaw drop when you finally comprehend the injustice we poor Irish suffered in this present age. How queer and foreign it must seem to you, and all the coarse words and cruelty which I now relate are far away in ancient time. Your grandfather were a quiet and secret man. He had been ripped from his home in Tipperary and transported to the prisons of Van Diemen's Land. I do not know what was done to him. He never spoke of it. When they had finished with their tortures, they set him free, and he crossed the sea to the colony of Victoria. He were by this time 30 years of age, red-headed and freckled, his eyes always slitted against the sun. My da had sworn an oath to evermore avoid the attentions of the law. So when he saw the streets of Melbourne was crawling with policemen worse than flies, he walked 28 miles to the township of Donnybrook, and then or soon thereafter he seen my mother. Ellen Quinn were 18-year-old. She was dark-haired and slender, the prettiest figure on a horse he ever saw. But your grandma was like a snare laid out by God for Red Kelly. She were a Quinn, and the police would never leave the Quinns alone. My first memory is of mother breaking eggs into a bowl and crying that Jimmy Quinn, my 15-year-old uncle, was arrested. I was 3-year-old. While my mother cried, I scraped the sweet yellow batter onto a spoon and ate it, the roof leaking above the camp oven, each drop hissing as it hit. My mother tipped the cake onto the muslin cloth and knotted it. Your Aunt Maggie were a baby, so my mother wrapped her also, and then she carried both cake and baby out into the rain. How could I forget them puddles, the colour of mustard, the rain like needles in my eyes? We arrived at the police camp drenched to the bone and doubtless stank of poverty, a strong odour about us like wet dogs. When we were finally permitted entry, all my attention was taken by a huge red-jowled creature, the Englishman who sat behind the desk. "Approach," says he, as if he was an altar. My mother approached and I hurried beside her. She told the Englishman she had baked a cake for his prisoner Quinn. "No cake shall go to the prisoner," said the trap, and I could smell his foreign spicy smell. He had a handlebar moustache and his scalp was shining through his hair. Said he, "No cake shall go to the prisoner without me inspecting it first." And he waved his big, soft, white hand, thus indicating my mother should place her basket on his desk. He untied the muslin, his fingernails so clean they looked like they was washed in lye. And to this day I can see them livid instruments as they broke my mother's cake apart.